Okay, so here I am continuing the video that I was just making, and you'll know what that is because I'll have it attached to this one or post it right before this one. And so what the hacker did, this is my tablet now, and it's not a good, it doesn't have a good camera because it's an older model device. So let me move it over here to the light. So what they've done is somehow rigged the app, the screen recording, the background screen recording app, to record in such a way that 54 minutes and 40 seconds produced a 3+ gigabyte video file, when you can see that there's a different precedent set today, in fact. Hold on. Here's a video, 4/4/2018, an hour and 12 minutes and 45 seconds. It's only 136 megabytes. And so we have this one here that's for some odd reason 3.1. So I mean, the hacks are gigabytes. So the hacks are this subtle and effective. And I can't even, I was just explaining to you how I could not take a screenshot with the device that I'm holding right now, my tablet, because a hacker altered the system functions in such a way that the tablet was under the impression that I didn't have enough storage to take a few gigabyte file screenshot, when in fact I had almost a half a gig available for storage. And so now they've done the inverse hack trick and inducing this background app of mine to record at perhaps double the bit rate that I had it set for before, or more. I mean, I don't know, but there you have it. So facts upon the face of Ann Arbor, Michigan is right there. Yeah, sure, scientists will always question and try to find out, narrow down what the circumstances is, and someone who deals in electronics is going to focus on the electronic aspect of it. This is a brand new device, virtually. Unlike my tablet that I'm holding here that I've had for about a year now. So, I mean, someone can always rationalize technological malfunction, but it's the context to be taken into consideration. In the frequency. And so, anyway, and so here it's funny, because I was just demonstrating to you how they hacked my tablet so that I couldn't take a screenshot, but look at here. I tried to take a screenshot with this device, and it tells me I don't have enough data. So they're listening to me, and they're flippantly, sarcastically harassing me, and you know, I mean, think about it. If somebody's that flippant about it, and I've narrowed down their location via their IP address to upstairs, and not only their IP address but also their network signal. And then, for them to be or act this flippant about it, clearly they're under the impression that they're acting for or on behalf of law enforcement and that they will suffer no repercussions. Or in fact, they are law enforcement themselves. And they know that it's very difficult to incriminate law enforcement on anything. And in fact, there probably is not a precedent at all to incriminate or of incrimination of law enforcement's misuse of technology used to hack people's devices and invade their privacy and consequently violate their civil liberties. So, I mean, fine. I mean, eventually, wrongdoing is what it is. I mean, I'll get the proofs together. These videos and pictures, screenshots, yeah, they might be a rich form of evidence, but the circumstances still exist, and my memory of my experiences still exist, and that's what matters. Even if it's only so far as making a statement and a public record of it, or convincing a judge or a jury to a standard of the preponderance of the evidence in a civil matter. Or how juries are, they tend to be forgiving of law enforcement because there's that long traditional established trust of their authority and that reliance upon them for protection. But unfortunately, it creates a conflict of dynamics of power and authority between law enforcement and society, and what's compromised in between is civil liberties. Such is what I'm attempting to present to the public here. And so lastly, I will show you, this is where I had the modem set up or connected there, and then that's the cord, and so I had it right here on my table. Actually, I had it down there because initially when I brought it up here, I could feel, I don't know how you say it, current sensations through my arms. It's something that I've become accustomed to in circumstances involving Wi-Fi signals, which are radio frequency signals. But I've never experienced that in my life until about 1.5 years ago, after being evicted from an apartment that I shared with an unscrupulous researcher for the University of Michigan Metabolonics Corps at the Kellogg's Eye Institute. And then, of course, with the additional and subsequent law enforcement harassment as I was made homeless from that circumstance and stayed in a shelter that was toxic and dangerous and full of criminals and drug addicts and hackers, and I made it through all that. and I'm in a better circumstance, living circumstance now. But I mean, a small, I don't know what to tell you. It's Ann Arbor has a reputation built off of the glamorous hype and campaign agenda successfully hosted by the University of Michigan and perhaps their football, and I don't know, maybe, I'm sure they must have made some advancements in science and other disciplines, but crime overshadows all of that. Compromised ethics and I mean, just, well, I don't know. I don't want to start speaking too personal as to compromise the validity of the proofs that I'm attempting to show here. But you may have a compromised and uninformed opinion of the reputation of Ann Arbor, Michigan, and the University of Michigan. And it actually may be a sophisticated quality of a more dangerous place than you have experienced. It may not be a dark alley in some huge metropolitan city, but it's a small town that has access to tons of toxins and poisons and radiation and hackers and crime of a sophisticated, scientific, white-collar order. And I'm not afraid to say that, and I'm not afraid to testify to it in court or put my hand on the Bible about it. I've seen so much, but it's outside of the context of this video. So, so that's the 5 gigahertz channel here, and then this is the 2.4, and they both would light up, but I could not access the 5 gigahertz channel, and I consistently experienced internet function hacking and or interference up into the actual Wi-Fi signal being cut and compromised altogether. So the thing is, this happened to me. It could be your circumstance right now, and you not know it because you're not currently in a you're not currently necessarily trying to upload or make some type of statement or present some type of case to the public that could be considered pejorative against your local municipality, but you could be under surveillance, and you could be losing valuable information and security of your home and your privacy within your home. They can use these kind of devices in addition to more powerful devices to see everything you do on your smartphone, access your camera without you even knowing it, and not only steal your information, but route it to so many servers that it would be almost impossible to trace it to who it actually falls in the hands of to misuse it. So, again, another circumstance in which you may have a misimpression of a false sense of security with technology. And it's only people like me and efforts like this of making this stuff public that is going to help promote a standard of accountability and security with electronic communications. Otherwise, it's really the case that all of us. All right, pray. So I throw it out on the street right now, smashed up, but they charge a deposit. I just want them to come and get it. The audacity of the circumstance, it's unnerving. But I'll feel relieved enough that this is made public.